Thanks for listening to Uncle Sam's Soccer Podcast, keeping you up to date with the latest in American soccer. And don't forget to subscribe.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jake Watroba, and welcome to Uncle Sam's Soccer Podcast. If you haven't already, please make sure to check out segments 1 and 2. In segment 1, we talked to Peter Coates down in Argentina to discuss the potential loan of Agustin Rossi to Minnesota United FC, as well as discuss some potential Argentine players moving to MLS. In segment 2, we talked to Josh Babetiski and discuss all things Austin FC. If you haven't already, please make sure you subscribe to the show on iTunes, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts, and make sure you leave us a review. Now, let's get to today's episode. Fellas.
Yes.
How you guys doing?
Good.
What's going on?
It's a big night here in Patriots land. But that by the time this recording goes out, nobody's going to care. People know the result.
Yeah. You nervous?
Of course I'm nervous. They're on the road. It's the Chiefs.
I mean, look, my Cowboys got eliminated, so I kind of hate football right now. I don't know about y'all, but I'm excited because my Revs shirt's coming in a couple days. So you know me, bandwagon Revs fan.
Hey, you're gonna turn into a Kraft fanboy?
No, of course not. Jesus Christ, no.
Not about that Kraft mac and cheese?
No, I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. I'm more into paywalls, to be honest with you.
Paywalls.
That's a great segue, Armand. That's a great segue. Let's talk paywalls. Let's talk web streaming services and paywalls. If you haven't already, oh gosh, this must have been earlier this past week. Our guy Grant Wahl at SI.com posted a video, an emotional rant? Was that what we're calling it?
No, an unemotional rant.
Unemotional rant. Okay, an unemotional rant.
With very good points.
Very good points. Basically, and a little bit of hypocrisy, I guess, sprinkled in there as well.
To his credit, though, that's fair. That's fair, though, that he said that. I mean, credit where credit's due. I mean, at least he was being fair there. Sure.
Well, in the the video, he talks about how paywalls they potentially could be holding back U.S. soccer or viewership of U.S. soccer. Steven, why don't you roll the tape?
The sport of professional soccer has grown immensely in the United States in recent years, but it's not even close to being fully established here at the beginning of 2019. And that's why I'm imploring American broadcast outlets, leagues, and teams, stop putting live soccer rights behind additional paywalls. First came the NBC Sports Gold paywall, which put exclusive Premier League games behind a new paywall. Then in 2018, Turner and Bleacher Report decided to put UEFA Champions League games behind their own paywall, BR Live. The result is that any, say, Arsenal fan that wants to see every Gunners League game would have to pay an additional fee to watch their team on NBC Sports Gold. And any fan who wanted to see Liverpool's last 2 huge Champions League games in English would have had to pay an additional fee to get behind the Turner Bleacher Report paywall. Thank God for Univision, which broadcast both those Liverpool games in Spanish so that you didn't have to pay Turner and Bleacher Report extra. Just this week, we learned DC United, which is just starting to create some local buzz after a decade of anonymity, will be putting its local broadcast behind a new paywall. The point is that all these extra paywalls are harming the growth of a sport that isn't fully mature yet in the United States, and that's truly unfortunate. I'm not a huge fan either of paying $5 a month for ESPN+, but at least with that, you get a lot of soccer, including the Italian League, MLS out-of-market games, the English Championship, and their excellent daily soccer studio highlight show. And yes, I am fully aware of the hypocrisy of saying this is on SITV, a channel that is, wait for it, behind a paywall. But we aren't putting up a new paywall for live soccer rights, and at least this clip will go out on social media channels publicly for free. If you want to see soccer continue growing here, these extra paywalls for live rights need to be reconsidered, if not by the broadcasters, then by the leagues that sell those video rights and want to get bigger in the States.
All right, so there you have it. There's Grant Wahl's take on paywalls. Let's get your guys' reaction. What are your initial thoughts?
Question.
Yes.
What streaming services do y'all pay for regarding soccer?
Me personally, I only pay for ESPN FC, or not ESPN FC, ESPN Plus.
ESPN FC, wow.
ESPN
they must
Plus.
have some great content there. What am I missing?
Yeah.
Well, you're paying for stuff.
I love Alejandro Moreno and Shaka Hislop.
I like Craig Burley the most.
Yeah, God, I almost said it again. ESPN Plus is the only streaming service I pay for. I do not pay for NBC Sports Gold or whatever it's called, Fox Soccer Match Pass, whatever it's called. The DC United, I guess, paywall or streaming service that's coming out. I feel like there's one other one I'm missing.
Yeah, you're missing the Champions League one.
Oh, thank you. The Turner Sports one, yes.
Bleacher Report.
Like the Champions League, the Bleacher Report one. That one is essentially dead to me. The Champions League's dead to me. I will not. I don't care to watch Barcelona destroy Genk or whoever the hell it is that they're playing in a pointless group match game. You know, it's like, Barcelona's locked up the group, but let's watch them play Lazio. That's gonna be fun, right? Like,
yeah, but Jake, I think Grant Wahl's premise here is that
you didn't ask me about my ESPN Plus, man. I kind of hate y'all.
Okay, we know that you have ESPN Plus. You know why? You know why? Do you know why?
Why?
Because you talked about
I watch a lot of MLS.
No, you watch a lot of Indian Super League.
No, I actually just watched UFC for the first time on ESPN Plus, and honestly, it's top 5. It was honestly like I can't remember more worthwhile, but that's just the point. Like, I don't know. I thought ESPN Plus was great. I'm also kind of biased because I watch a lot.
Not
of
talking
ESPN
about UFC. I was talking about the Indian Super League.
Dude, I don't watch Indian Super League. Steven, how much do you like paywalls?
Paywalls suck, but there is a larger point that, I mean, you could, we're not advocating this, but you could potentially watch the game illegally. Like, that has to be a detriment to these paywalls. Like, does NBC Sports realize that their paywalls don't really do anything because they're still going to broadcast the big games? Like, I don't know if it harms U.S. soccer. I think the harming comes if you put MLS behind a paywall. That's where you're going to harm it. But if you're putting freaking Burnley and Bournemouth and Fulham and Cardiff City and whoever else gets promoted next season and so on behind a paywall consistently, is apart from the Americans that whatever American is on that team, if there is, it's not going to harm the potential growth. What I do think harms a little bit is putting MLS behind the paywalls. We'll see what the impact is with DC United.
I think it does impact MLS. I agree, because I think it's a lot harder to find a stream for MLS. And actually, I can confirm this because when I was before I had ESPN Plus, I was on the hunt for some streams. I couldn't find any. I think it's a lot more difficult because, the streamers, they kind of just don't need to, try, like, why do an MLS stream, go through the hassle when, no one's watching it, like, no one cares. I think the deal with ESPN Plus was huge because, it's only $5 a month. It's not that much. But for the local side, like DC United, I'm actually really interested by how they're going to do, because while it might be a very big, lucrative deal, at the same time, you're kind of cutting out a lot of population that you're just gaining back too. Let's not forget, DC United was kind of in like irrelevancy for a little bit before Wayne Rooney, before the stadium. So they were kind of getting back into the popular DC market. And now it's, can they watch their games?
I don't know, Jake.
That's a huge question right there.
Jake, does this harm American soccer putting some of the Champions League games behind paywalls?
Yes and no. I mean, here's the thing. We all know how to find games illegally. We all know where to go. I'm not going to say the site because I don't want to spoil it for other people. I mean, I'm sure everyone probably knows which public forum you go on to stream your soccer matches or stream your NBA games or NFL games or anything like that. It rhymes with edit. But on a DC United point, that's going to kill them. I understand that it's edgy and new, and that's what a lot of people do. But you are cutting out a huge. Let's just say that I don't want to be ageist or whatever, but I have a feeling that people 50 plus and older, they're not going to stream games. They don't care to do that. They still want to watch it on cable or on their TV, and they're not going to go and sit on their laptop or their iPod or iPad and stream these games. And I just think it's bad. I think you, as a team, you want to be exposing your product to as many people as possible. And I think putting it behind a paywall, like DC United is a terrible idea. The Champions League is one thing. We all know who Real Madrid and Barcelona and Bayern Munich and Manchester United are, but I mean, for little old DC United, I think they need as much exposure as they can get.
Well, that's the thing. Global football, you put that behind a paywall. I'm sorry, Grant Wahl. I don't think you affect U.S. soccer. I think you affect it when you put DC United and ESPN. That's the thing. This is a weird contradiction in of itself. It's that DC United is going to be behind a paywall, but because MLS has this paywall where you have accessibility to all these games, then it's a good thing. Like, do you see how that paywall there is good for MLS because it allows for more exposure? So for $5, it's I think ESPN Plus is a good deal because you have such a variety of soccer that you can get into. So
let me cut you off there. Can one of you confirm for me if all USL matches were free on YouTube 2 years prior, or was it just a select few? And maybe a listener can confirm.
I think it was all. So isn't there also an argument to be made that putting USL on ESPN Plus could harm the growth of USL?
No. Why is that? You're only exposing it to people who are willing to pay $5 a month for ESPN Plus, whereas YouTube is free for everybody. Unless you had to pay for USL matches. I'm not a USL guy, so I never watched USL.
Right. But I know exactly what you're saying. I think I mentioned this when the announcement that ESPN Plus was first grabbing USL. I think being on the same platform as these guys is more beneficial than being free in terms of, hey, look, I'm on YouTube. Because YouTube, I'll go dig for it and something, but if it's on the same interface, you're more likely to click on it. I think ESPN Plus has this live feature. You go click on it, and all of a sudden, excuse me, you look through, and you're like, oh, there's a USL match on. There's nothing really on, but a USL match. I'll click on that because you're already on a sports app. The audience that's gonna watch US soccer are the ones who are gonna buy ESPN Plus for $5 a month because you're gonna watch MLS.
Well,
and that's US soccer.
Well, here's the only time I'm watching USL is if it's Nap football, if it's Colorado Rapids versus San Jose Earthquake, or I can Louisville City play Indy 11 or something like that. But I mean, I don't know. I guess for me, I'm not going to watch USL over MLS unless it's like we've notoriously said, Nap football game of the night. I don't know. It could very well be great for USL. I guess I'm maybe playing devil's advocate here a little bit. A part of me thinks that giving or offering something for free on YouTube is still better than putting it behind a paywall and only offering it to those who are willing to pay.
Well,
instead of offering it to everybody.
This is what, at the time, USL President Tim Holt said in 2014 to SBIsoccer.com. about this. He says, quote, YouTube eliminates barriers that previously stood between fans and the action on the field. We want fans worldwide to take note of the high quality of play in USL Pro and see the importance of the league in the North American soccer landscape. YouTube makes this process much easier, and we're thrilled to have this relationship. Major League Soccer, and the story continues saying, Major League Soccer and North American Soccer League, so the NASL, both have their own forms of online streaming for fans, though those come with a subscription to be specific package, i.e. MLS Live. With the number of MLS players expected to spend time on loan in NASL next year, fans of MLS clubs will now have a chance to watch those teams as well. But here's the thing is, why would they make the move for the free YouTube and then go to subscription base? Because I don't think the YouTube looks kind of like second tier. Now which one of you said it? By promoting it next to MLS makes it look better.
I think so. I agree too. And especially you promote the FA Cup. You promote it with I was trying to think of something more high profile than the FA Cup, but
Indian Super League.
Indian Super League. There you go.
The Scottish, what's the Scottish one called? The Scottish
Premiership?
I just noticed ESPN Plus this weekend had whatever Scotland's equivalent to the FA Cup is. Is it the
Scottish Cup? I don't know.
Scottish Cup, whatever. Yeah, I noticed that. I didn't know that was on there.
I think the idea of a paywall for things such as the Champions League is dumb. And things such as local coverage is I don't know, but I think bundles in paywall are really important. But the thing is with there's certain paywalls where you're like, why does this even exist? Like NBC's paywall. Why does that exist? Those are not the marquee matchups. Like
wait, you don't want coverage also of the Tour de France peloton?
Exactly. Like those aren't marquee games. Like there's like I hate to keep using Burnley because they're nice people, I think, or something like that. Like Leicester and like Fulham. Like, okay, maybe it's cool for a select few, but not for the majority of people. You don't watch the big games. The Bleacher Report live. It's honestly, I'm gonna keep it real with you. I have not watched Jake. I have not watched a single game of Champions League because sometimes it's inaccessible. It's very hard for me to find. Sometimes hard for me to find a stream there, and you know what? Like, to people, I don't know a single person. I have not met one person, and I am a young millennial in college. I'm a target audience that has Bleacher Report Live. I've not met one person.
I haven't either. I wonder who actually has that.
I wonder what their numbers are. I'd love to see it. I don't even know. Is it hurting the game? You know what? Before I said yes. Honestly, I don't think so.
I
because
think it
you
has
find other ways around it.
Well, that's the thing, and remember,
it's capitalism.
No, okay, it's capitalism, but remember that those games that people want to watch, they're not neutrals. TNT, Turner, Fox on FS1 or ESPN or NBC Sports, BWIN Sports, they're still going to broadcast their big games, and people, if they have the subscription to those cable channels, are still going to be able to watch it. It's not like they're running away. They're still producing content. They're just putting a certain amount of content behind a paywall because they need to make money. So it is what it is. Follow us on Twitter, Uncle Sam Soccer Pod, at Jake Watroba, at Armand Kafai. Yeah, go Pats. Until next time.